going on, guys? Currently at EPCOT on a very frigid morning. It's about 48 degrees right now, heading in between 9 and 9:30 because it's the only time they're showing Preston Day France anymore, which is one of my favorite track, or if you want to call it an attraction or movie. But sounds to me like if that opening time is just going to be between 9 and 3, then, or 9 and 9:30, it's probably going to be going away soon. So I'm going to try to capture it in 360 since it is a 180 degree screen while it's still running. It's also Flower and Garden Festival. It's the first time I've been over since the festival started, so check out some food as well. Looks like they're going vertical on, well, they've been going vertical on Communicore Hall over there too. Saw some new art for it recently. They're putting maybe like another store over there, kind of like Connection or Creations or something. So I'm not sure exactly what it's gonna be. This got like a live entertainment center. Maybe it'd be cool if they did like conventions and stuff like that in there. I don't know if they'd have enough room, but like, you know, if different corporations could come in and show off technology of the future. Though I don't think that park is really going that route anymore. I think we're far beyond that point. Bathrooms are still intact. I think those are the original bathrooms right there. But it'll be interesting to see what this is like when it's all done. It's kind of been a smoldering crater in the middle of EPCOT for years now. There is some good news though. This monstrosity is going away, I believe. In a not so distant future, and I believe EPCOT Forever is coming back, which it is what it is. It's not Illuminations, but if it gets rid of these barges and the obstruction of the view that they built on this beautiful lagoon out here, you know what? I'm okay with it. It's interesting seeing World Showcase this busy so early in the morning, but now with the addition of the track, oh, we got a squirrel down here. Come on. Addition of all the attractions back here, it gets pretty busy in the morning. About that time, eh, chap? Right up. Now, Preston Day France, it's actually one of my favorite attractions in EPCOT. Maybe it's because it's one of the only opening day attractions that's been unaltered, other than being, you know, converted to digital about a decade ago or so. But it's still exactly the same as it was on opening day in 1982. And now it's only open for a half hour a day, so that tells me that's probably on its way out. And that Beauty and the Beast sing-along is, unfortunately, probably going to be its replacement. I don't see a demand for either that much, but it is what it is, I guess. There used to be like a Van Gogh style poster over here. Looks like they've changed it recently. I wonder if they'll change it with a different film or an updated film. I don't really think you need to though. I mean, yeah, sure, it's 1982 France, but a lot of it's like classic places that have been unchanged for hundreds of years. I can see updating parts of it, but I also think it's fine just the way it is. This place, I used to come in and get my wine all the time. Believe it or not, some of the prices in here are cheaper than if you were to get the same stuff at Publix off-site. How they get around that, I don't really know. But for some of the same bottles they would have at Publix, it would be cheaper to buy it here by like $5 in some cases. I don't know how they get away with that. I don't know if there's like a tax I don't have to pay because it's on private property or what. There was a bottle in Germany called Schloss Riesling that was really good. And so a buddy and I went to go get it at Publix, and it was like $5 more at Publix than it was buying it in a wine cellar in Germany. And I started looking at other wines and stuff like that and noticed the same thing. It was cheaper to buy it in a park, and I'd much rather go to the country and buy it than Publix and buy it. You know, sure, there's a convenience, but it always tastes better when it comes out of the park. And if you've never had the ice cream sandwich here, where it's on like a toasted, I don't know, some kind of bread. Ice cream on toasted bread doesn't sound that great, but I'm telling you, it's banging. And I think they make all their own ice cream here too. I think it's actually made in the kitchen here. There's only been 2 restaurants that I haven't eaten at yet in EPCOT. And that's the Norway character meal, because I just typically don't do character meals. Monsieur Paul, I believe Monsieur Paul retired when COVID hit and everything, and shut down. To my knowledge, it hasn't been back open yet. Heard good things about it, heard okay things about it, but I just kind of wanted to try them all. They do still have the menu up though, which is interesting. I don't know, maybe it's back open and I don't know. I'm gonna have to check. I'm not sure why they'd have the menu if you couldn't eat here anymore. If it is, I definitely want to give it a go. Maybe get that gastronomic meal of the French. $195. Anyway, let me get a run in on Impressions de France before the last showing of the day happens. Alright, so it looks like I'm not getting to experience Impressions de France. They told me that it's not running today due to technical difficulties, which it's a movie projector. But I don't know. I feel like there was like a few people in there and they're just like, I was hoping to capture it. Hopefully I get over here. I mean, it's not often I come to EPCOT right at the opening and rush back to France. Probably the most beautiful smelling arcade that I've ever smelled. I wonder if they have Pac-Man. Well, that's unfortunate. I kind of rushed over here for nothing. I mean, I'll hang out. But I kind of came over for the express purpose of viewing Impressions de France. And it had a wait time and then it just went to 0. So I'm not sure if they even had one single run of it today, or, I mean, 9 to 9:30 just seems like such an extremely small window that it almost makes you wonder why they don't just get rid of it altogether. I mean, I don't want them to. I really hope they don't, but it's just, I don't think I've ever seen an attraction with a window that small before. And maybe it's just for the overflow of people that are going over to Ratatouille, so they have something else to do, or they're in the area in case the line's too long, or they're waiting for like a, I don't know, lightning lane return or something like that. But 9 o'clock to 9:30 just seems extremely short to even bother opening an attraction. Here's another oddity in World Showcase. So since Morocco opened back up after COVID, all the shops and everything inside are closed, and I believe the company that was running Marrakesh ran the shops, and when everything opened back up they kind of pulled out, so all the shops are gone, the bazaar's gone, they even took the fez off the camel when they left. So Tangerine Cafe I think is still there, but I don't think it's the same owners. I don't know, it's just like a abandoned pavilion now. One day I saw people filling their water bottles in this fountain. Not sure what that was all about. Sure wouldn't see me doing that, nor would I drink that water. Apparently, I guess with $5 waters you gotta do something, but it's not for me. So this is the Tangerine Cafe now with their current menu. It used to be a cool place to come and get like a shawarma platter. There used to be a little bakery back here that had like baklava and stuff like that, and it all seems to be just changed over now. Oh, the whole camel's gone now. So not only do they take the fez, the camel's been repossessed as well. I wonder if they moved it elsewhere, or if it's just gone for good. And it's just eerie now, going around the pavilion. The music's still playing and everything, and it's just completely abandoned. This used to be, I think, a store that had little trinkets and carpets and stuff like that. All just closed up. But I do like this Riyadh style home. I could definitely see, you know, like imagine living in the city and all the inner walls are on the outside of your house, and then you have your own little space right there in the middle. And the bazaar back here now just kind of has during the day has like a little daiquiri section right here. They have some frozen mixers, but no more little shops or anything like that. It's all just kind of desolate. Oh, they have planters back here. What's going on back here? Looks like there's some equipment back here that's being closed off. Huh, I wonder if they're doing something back here with it. Actually, now I think about it, I think more the fountain broke back there or something like that. So I wonder if they're just repairing that. But it seems odd that they would just let the water continue to run, you know. The restaurant Marrakesh, it was a pretty decent restaurant. You could always get a reservation there any time of day, and you know they have belly dancers and stuff like that, live music. I enjoyed it. The food wasn't that bad. It wasn't that pricey. Realistically, it'll probably turn into a meet and greet. I doubt they'll ever open a restaurant in there again, but I imagine the kitchens and stuff are still back there, so who knows. I wonder what all that running water is, though. Maybe a pipe burst? I mean, it is cold out, so it just seems weird. There's a cherry picker back there. And there it is, the infamous Schween wall. Now, they did move the table and chairs from the front of it, but they did add a door, too. It was amazing that that was there for as long as it did before it became infamous on the internet, but I mean, I feel like I would have noticed something like that. So I don't know if it was something new and then they just changed it real quick. It was pretty funny, though. I think they would have just left it. I think over time it would have just died out. Anyway, there's nothing back here anyway, so. Yeah, so the camel is no more. First the fez, now the whole thing. It's gone. Repossessed. How you doing? This is what I was saying with the bazaar back here. The brass bazaar. It's now just a daiquiri stand. I mean, thematically wise, it's probably one of my favorite pavilions besides France. There was never an attraction or anything like that here, or a movie for that matter. But I just thought it was so well done, and it always reminded me of Casablanca too, which was nice. Now, besides the meet and greet, they do still have the Moroccan Gallery entrance, which is a Moroccan Gallery, Arts and History, Race Against the Sun, which it's kind of like, I wouldn't even call it a simulator. It's more of like stand in front of a screen and act like you're turning the wheel and stuff like that. And the Gallery of Arts and History, so it's not completely, you know, without something to do inside. They could just use a little more love. I mean, it was nicer when the shops were open. Maybe add a movie, maybe add an attraction. That'd be great. Aren't there some little booty things that like you gotta wear when you go to rich people's house? So like, you know, your shoes and feet don't actually touch the floor. That's what they look like. Just noticed something. There's footprints down there. So I wonder if they put real sand in there. Like down this pit here in the front. Looks like somebody spilled a drink down there too. There's tracks in it. Now they do still have a restaurant, Spice Road Table, which I'd recommend. It's good food. It's different. I always thought it was banging. And then they still have a market over here. And the market still does have some small trinkets and gift. But not so much. They used to have, like, you could buy like couscous and stuff like that in here. I don't see any of that now. I do like this shirt. This is pretty cool. This kind of reminds me of like the All-Star Resorts costumes they wear, like, you know, with the stars on them. If you're into that kind of thing. Oh, and they have light up Morocco ornaments. That's pretty cool. Oh, and the live music they used to have out here was awesome as well. I can't remember the name of the performers that were out here, but yeah, it would get a lot of people to stop and watch, I'll tell you that. I've yet to hit this place either. This is the high-end Japanese restaurant, so I think this makes 3 restaurants for Japan, including quick service. That might be the most in World Showcase for one pavilion. I mean, on that, on top of the sake bar, on top of the store, I mean, they're moving some merch here. Apparently the Japanese know how to do it, but this is a very high-end experience. Looks like around, like, looks $250 up there. A chef selection of 5 seasonal appetizers. Look how that Guardians of the Galaxy building just seamlessly blends into the background. You can't even tell it's there. I don't see it. It's like they picked the perfect shade. It really just enhances the sightlines here, much like the barges do. I mean, don't get me wrong, you hear me say some negative things while I'm here and a lot of positive things, but because to me, EPCOT is my favorite park. So they do things that don't make a lot of sense or kind of take away from what would always be my vision of EPCOT or version of EPCOT, I'd say. Most people won't, won't say anything negative about it. They just go along with it and say, oh, this is great, you know, even though they're crapping on nostalgia, I guess. I mean, I get it's a park it's like a World's Fair, it never ends, so it has to continually evolve. But that doesn't mean you need to shoehorn a character in every single piece of the park. Because now, I don't know what it is. I mean, World Showcase is still fine, but Future World is just kind of like a mess. And I know they're trying to do things with the neighborhoods and all that stuff, but I don't know. I guess it's because I care. That's why these things bother me the way they do, but I love this place. You know, I would still come here before I go to any Disney park, and people think I'm crazy for that. I know there's a lot of people that also agree with that. It's just something that I can't let go of. I don't want to let go of. And while a lot of things have changed, maybe not so for the best, there's still a lot of great things left here in the park. There's still a lot of great food. There's still a lot of great entertainment. And the festivals keep it fresh. So it's still by far and away my favorite Walt Disney World park. I just kind of wish it had more of that edutainment feel to it, which some people are going to say is boring. Well, it's not for you. You know, everything doesn't have to be for you or your kid, you know. Yes, Walt Disney World is arguably a place for children, but it's the parents paying for it, so you got to keep them entertained as well. And EPCOT was always kind of the place that I loved as a child, and I love it even more as an adult. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, let's be honest. With how good Imagineering can be with sightlines, this should never be a view in one of your world-class parks, you know? Now, on the other hand, the American Adventure has been refurbished, and the animatronics in that, Imagineering did a wonderful job on. They're so smooth. Nothing's really changed about the show that I noticed, and it's just kind of like an overall kind of maintenance on the show. And if you haven't seen it lately, it looks the best that it ever has, and you should definitely go in there and check it out if you haven't seen it in a while. Great place to cool off or warm up if you're coming on a day like today. But it's they did a good job cleaning it up. You know, gotta give them props for that. This smoker right here, I've been told, isn't actually used for anything. It's a prop. They just like burn wood in it and whatnot. I don't know if I'm behind that, but I mean, I hope it's not all just like bagged meats in the bag. The food's good, but I was told by a certain individual, but I was told that it's never actually used in use by like a pit master or anything like that. That it's kind of just more for show than it is for like actually preparing food. And if that's the case, I mean, they're definitely burning wood in there. So I don't see why they wouldn't use it and why they would just burn wood if it wasn't actually making food in it. But then again, I've never personally seen anybody out here making food. So it could be. Who knows? Either way, I enjoy the food and the sauces here at Regal Eagle Smokehouse, craft wraps and barbecue. They do have a window for pickup, but if you go inside, that's where you get that sweet sauce pump action. And that's the preferred method. Or you can eat it without sauce if you're one of those guys, but I consider myself a sauce lord myself, so the more sauce, the better. It sure does smell good. I think I may have to hit this before I leave. I was only hopping in real quick to hit Presence de France. I've already failed at that objective. So now I'm kind of just waiting around for food, and man, after smelling that wood burn in there, I'm ready for some barbecue. It's another great place to get booze. Some good limoncello. Now for those smokers, this used to be the primo smoking spot in the park. Yeah, nice view of this fountain right here, the vines and everything. And you're basically sitting in the middle of Italy having a cigarette. So I can get why it went away. I can get how, you know, it bothered guests and whatnot, but this was the spot to come over and enjoy a cigarette if you're into that kind of thing. Still room for the Rhine River Rhine back there. Just saying. This would have been, to my understanding, the entrance to the Rhine River cruise, which I still think they should do. I mean, who doesn't love a good boat ride, especially through Bavaria and the Black Forest, or whatever tale you want to put to it. I wonder what's behind there now. It's just storage. That's what I heard. It's just storage back there now. The show building was built. The attraction never went in. Yeah, I'm still arguing today how they get the pear in the bottle. Is it grown in there? So they push it through. Is the bottle sealed after, like the bottom of the bottle sealed after it goes in? We just don't know. So one of the best kept treats, in my opinion, is the caramel butter bar here, which I think it used to be called something else before. It was like a caramel shortbread or school bread or something like that. Maybe the school bread is at Norway, but it's banging. You definitely should get one. I know I am. And you can mobile order it, so if there's a long line, you can just roll right up to the side, pick one up. So this is it right here. It's like shortbread with some caramel on there. It's banging. I'm gonna tear into it because I can't wait to take this bad boy home. You gotta eat it now while it's fresh. Oh, it's so good when it hits your lips. This is probably my favorite treat on property. Look at all that caramely goodness. So good. Think about these trash cans here. These, like, I guess you could call them post-COVID area, where they cut the holes in the flap so you don't have to touch the flap to throw stuff out. I personally prefer, you see people like sneezing in napkins and then push the flap open with the napkin. So I always thought it was like nasty. And I don't ever notice like a smell issue or anything, so I kind of wish they were all like this, so you just toss your stuff in it and go. Then again, I think most people probably don't care. It's just a me issue. But they still have some trash cans where the flaps are like fastened back, so I guess there are still some left. take them off altogether and be done with it. Now, minus the herring salad, this buffet used to be banging. I mean, for the price at the time when it wasn't $50 a head, you could go in there and you could get huge liters of beer, and it was good stuff. But $50, those liters of beer, oh, this has changed. Those liters of beer coming in at, I don't know, last time I was in there, I think they were 14 a pop. It's good, it's not that good. When it was like $34.99, I was down. But at $50 a head, I don't know, just not doing it for me like it used to. It would be cool if they turned this place into a beer garden, like where you could buy liters and stuff like that and just hang out and just have beers with some live music and stuff like that. Maybe just have little snacks from the little quick service place back here instead of just like, you know, a mural with nothing behind it. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's Kaffel Wolfenstein up there. I've had the bit bigger premium pills before, and they're unique at a brewery. I don't think I've ever had the Fredericksburg Dunkel, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that a rip and see how it is. I'm into dark beer, so. Usually when I get a Dunkel, I think it's typically darker than this. I mean, I guess it could be an amber, but I usually think it would be more like a blackish or like cereally dark amber hue. Not as dark as I was expecting. That's all right. Could still be good. Not bad. It kind of tastes like a Warsteiner. Well, no, it's not that bad. But it's pretty good. I'll buy it again. Very bready. It's probably the lightest Dunkel I've ever had, but it's banging. Look at that. No park cheese in my hand from the flaps. That's how it's done. That's how it should be done. Got some pretty banging merch back here as well. Some vintage Orangebird stuff. You can never go wrong with that. Just limited release magic bands, which really aren't my thing, but if you have to, at least it's something cool. Digging these ornaments too. It's like Tiki Bird and Orange Bird together. I might have to get one of these. I honestly thought from far away that was a taco. When I pulled up, it looked like a taco shell from far away. Looks like they might have some solid beers here. I don't know if I'm feeling a pineapple skewer, but if you're into it, it's probably not bad. You ever notice when you're walking around World Showcase as the day goes on and the drunker people get, the more of these hats are become more prevalent around the park. Usually double-fisted beers in hands. They must sell a lot of them, but it's always it's always somebody who's like pissed drunk, hammered, walking around with his hats on. It's like standard. I mean, good for them. They're having a good time. It's just something I recognize. Now, it might just be me, but I feel like it's a missed opportunity to have a drink called Tang Dynasty and not have Tang in it, you know? Remember all that sweet artwork they had for Harmonious where, like, during the day, oh, they're not going to be eyesores. They're going to have all these giant fountains all over the place. And it's going to be a spectacular sight to behold during the day. And then at nighttime, it's going to transform to this insane show. Well, neither of those things happened. And I do recall seeing water drizzling out of these things. I think it might have been 15 PSI max. But it just never came to light. I don't know. I'm sorry. Again, Illuminations. Wasn't broke, don't fix it. People loved it for what, 25 years or so? I mean, people still love it. People miss it. I don't even know why they're going back to EPCOT forever. Now, La Hacienda was a banging place to eat. I've been here a few times. I recall some appetizer they had where it was like some kind of corn soup and then they'd like pour cream on top of it. I was bagging. Sweet corn ice cream sounds pretty good. Looks like the menu's changed since last time I've been here. I'm gonna have to give this place a go again. I mean, you can never go bad to Chili Relleno. I wonder if it's like the same one they had in San Angel Inn. It is spring break and it's about 11 o'clock right now, so it's starting to get really packed back here. And that might be my cue to head out before it gets too busy in here. I wanted to hop in, hit Impressions de France, maybe try some of the food offerings, and then get out before it got too packed, but looks like it's already going that way. So you notice up in the corners they have France, they have the UK, they have Italy, and then there's a pavilion that was in the original lineup but never got built. That's the Russian pavilion, but the model for it is still in the Disney Trader store on the east side of World Showcase if you're going towards Mexico. And they built the model for it right up there. It's with the other three that are up there that were actually built, but the Russian one still sits up there. The way things are going right now, I doubt it'll ever be built, but you never know. Blossom and fragrance. So I guess you sniff your way around this? Huh. Look at that. There's some quality sight lines behind that. That's how you do it. Well, that's going to be it for me today. Did a loop around World Showcase, Future World real quick. Tried to get on Impressions de France. It's only open for a half hour and apparently it was down for technical difficulties. I have a feeling it probably didn't even open, and they may not even be open in the morning anymore. So until next time, thanks for watching.